Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is June 18, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 120 of me answering your immigration related questions. As you can see, I have all your comments pulled up in front of me. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention, as I mention in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Raul Patel 183. Do we need to have priority date current in F2B to convert to F1 category, or we can do it before getting F2B current? Raul, thank you very much for the question. That's an excellent question. No, you don't need the priority to be current. Really, the only condition or requirement in order to convert from F2B to F1 is the petitioner has to become, obtain their naturalized citizenship. Basically convert from permanent resident to naturalized citizen. Just keep in mind that whenever it comes to converting from F2B to F1, in a lot of cases it tends to be a gamble. Sometimes you're better off staying in F2B category, and sometimes you're better off in F1. And currently, if you look at the visa bulletin, it's a really interesting situation as of right now, because if you look at the visa bulletin graph A, you are actually better off staying in F2B rather than being in F1, according to the final action dates, according to the graph A. But if you are in graph B, looking at when the NVC portal is going to be open, you are still better off in F2B, but there was a huge movement for F1 as of July 2023 visa bulletin. If you haven't seen the video that I've made on July visa bulletin, check it out. It has been recently uploaded on this channel. So I would say, Raul, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and really for everyone who's watching this video, is before kind of taking that step, I would wait maybe another month just to see what's going to happen in August visa bulletin and where it goes. If you still see positive movement in F1, then go ahead and switch. Even if it's not going to be, even if it's going to prolong the overall wait, it's not going to be by much, because both F1 and F2B, they kind of go very, very close to each other. But great question, Raul. Thank you for asking. I'm going to post the response here, and we're going to move on to the next question from George Yunin. Hi everyone, I have made my interview in the consulate in Frankfurt, Germany. During the interview, he asked me if I opt out the conversion from the F2B to F1 category. My mother naturalized after the NVC approval, and my question is, how can I opt out the conversion and keep my F2B category? And what will happen if I will be on F1 category? Will my visa be issued, or I will be waiting again until my priority becomes current under F1 category? Thanks in advance. George, thank you for the question. So it looks like I said, with things that we've seen in July visa bulletin, the changes, a lot of people are becoming concerned between the F1 and F2B. So George, thank you for asking. So yes, absolutely. If you switch to F1, then you will be looking at the F1 category. Now, looking at the visa bulletin, instead of the F2B, which as of right now, it is September 2015, you will switch to the F1, and then the priority date is now going to be applicable to the F1 category, which is currently 15 December 2014. Pretty much January 2015, so pretty much both of the categories are in 2015, except F2B seems to be 9 months ahead of the F1. So the way to opt out is really you just choose basically not to switch to the F1, and that's really it. Again, it's a gamble whether you want to stay in F2B or you want to switch in F1. It's really personal decision. You might be better off switching to F1 because technically F1 is a first preference category, and technically it should be doing better than F2B. However, we see F2B doing better as of right now. And really it depends on, the amount of applications in certain categories that are coming in each year. So it's just that F2B category seems to be, less applications, just a little bit less of a backlog than on the F1. And I think we might see F1 increase just a little bit more now because, well, as you can see, right now a lot of people are considering to switch from F2B to F1, again, because of the very good movement that we have seen in the F1 graph B, which is dates for filing, which is when the NVC portal is fully opening up so that you can start your documentary qualification process. So maybe at the end of the day, it might be a better option to switch to the F1 if you have not gotten to the point of becoming documentary qualified and the NVC portal is currently locked, because we have seen a good movement from I don't remember. Let's take a look what it was. Let's take a look at June 2023 visa bulletin and see where the F1 and the graph B is, just so that I'm pretty sure it was in March. No, it was actually in January. Wow. So you see it went from January to September, which is pretty much a 9-month movement. That's why you see a lot of people are considering now to switch to the F1. And it might be a better deal, again, if you are not documentarily qualified yet. But if you are already documentarily qualified and you're literally just waiting for the availability of the immigrant visa, then you don't need to look at the graph B. You need to look at the graph A. And according to the graph A, as of July visa bulletin, F2B is doing better because F2B is in September and F1 is in December 2014 still. Again, it is a gamble because, in August visa bulletin, everything might change and we can see huge movement for F1 and no movement for F2B, just like we've seen in the graph B in June 2023 visa bulletin. That's why it's really important to stay on top of each issue of the new visa bulletin. So, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do, because every time the new visa bulletin comes out, same day, next day, I do a video where I break down, all the movement, basically comparing it to the previous months. And we'll see, hopefully we'll see some movement in August as well. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Joseph Newto 345. Is the way can registered family AG me enables to go myself after enter their AG 6 months that might carry them United States after Pontu or 3 months because of Benyo's statement? Okay, Joseph, I would really like you to post another comment, and because I cannot understand what you're trying to say, what you're trying to ask. Please submit another comment if you can. I'm not even gonna click on this anything. I'll ask you to submit another comment with a little bit of clarification because I don't understand what you're trying to ask. Okay, let's move on to the next one. For now is from H Digitally GV3PO. Hello, does I-730 have any priority date and documentary qualification, and F2A and I-730 are same or not? Great question. No, they're not the same. So F2A is where permanent resident petitioning for a family reunification for their spouse or their children under 21. I-730 is when the granted refugees are petitioning for their family members to come and join them with the same status as derivative beneficiaries. So I-730 you can check on the visa bulletin. F2A you can check on the visa bulletin, but you're correct that I-730 does have the process of becoming documentarily qualified, and it's very similar in a way to the family reunification process works when it is a permanent resident or US citizen petitioning for a family member. It's very similar in a lot of ways, but unfortunately there is no way to kind of track it as you can with other family categories, with family preference categories. But you can check the I-730 on USCIS website, and You probably already know how to do it, but I'll still do it for demonstration purposes. Might as well use this opportunity. We're going to go to USCIS.gov, which is the official government website for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. Here it is. This is what the front page looks like. The link for this website is in the description below. From here, you can click on Tools. And then you can scroll down a little bit, go to Case Status Online. And then scroll down a little bit more, and then USCIS processing times information right here, and it will open up a separate page. So from this form right here, the selection form drop down, you can select the 730, which is refugee asylum relative petition. Category, there's only one, petition for accompanying family members of an asylee. And then the field office or service center, depending on where it's processed, there's only two, Nebraska and Texas. Let's check both and see if they're any different. So 13 months as of right now in Nebraska, and then Texas is a little bit more, well, not a little bit more, I'd say quite a lot more, 22.5. But again, if your service center is in Texas, don't let that scare you too much, because a lot of times the service centers, they hold on to the applications for a little bit longer, especially where the NVC is involved. They might hold on a little bit longer. So, for example, in Nebraska Service Center, they might approve it within 13 months and then send it to NVC, and then NVC is holding on to it. In Texas, it's USCIS that's holding on to the case, and then once they get through, they send it to the NVC, and then NVC opens up immediately. But that's really the only way as of right now to check your case at the moment. Once obviously it is approved, you will get the I think 797, the notice of action, and then once it is sent to the NVC will send you the welcome letter. Alrighty, let me post this right here, and we're gonna move on to the next one from no name user DC3TP. Once if I convert my category from F2B to F1, can I come back to F2B in future? Great question. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. You are switching from F2B to F1 because the petitioner, basically upgraded their status from permanent residence to US, naturalized US citizen. And you can't switch back because you can't downgrade from a US citizen back to permanent resident. So no, you can't. Once you switch, you cannot go back. But great question. I haven't had a question like that before. Alrighty, let me post this, and we're gonna move on to Oreca Lafayette. Not F1 is a married son with priority date in August 2013, category F3. Okay, so let's take a look at the visa bulletin. We're gonna look at F3, the total final action date, graph A. So F3 right now, December 2008. So December 2008. And Oreca, you have your priority date in August 2013. Okay, so August 2013, and then December 2008, 2013, 2008. So you're roughly looking at another 5 more years for the availability of the immigrant visa. Now let's take a look at the graph B when the NVC portal is going to open up. So it's March 2010. And you're 2013, okay, so you're roughly looking at another 3 years before the NVC portal will be fully open so that you can become documentarily qualified, and then roughly another 2 years for the availability of the immigrant visa. And Oreca, thank you very much for clarifying your category. And for everyone else, if you want me to give you very rough estimates, because Visa Bulletin, the way it works is you really can't 100% carefully predict it, because things slow down, things speed up. We had this whole pandemic situation, unexpected, nobody expected that, and Visa Bulletin was not moving for like a year and a half, 2 years, some of the categories. So very rough estimates. But in order for me to give you rough estimates, I need 3 things. I need your priority date, preference category, and then the chargeability area would be helpful as well. For most people, it's going to be all chargeability area, but if you clarify that, it will be a little bit more accurate. Okay, moving further to the next question from Sasikanth Apaka. Thanks for the previous explanation. That clarifies a little bit. We were assuming it will be no. However, posting in detail for better clarification. We know that you did clarify yes with some cover letter explanation. Thanks. You're very welcome. The person H1B 129, I-129, all right, had filed for extension, and approval notice had received via I-797A. Okay, all good. Now H4 dependents, wife and child extension being filed using I-539. I see I-539A documents. Query we had was below for 3A part 2, page 3. Question is, this application based on a separate petition or application to provide your spouse, child extension, etc. Yes, filed with this form. I-539, no. Yes, filed previously and pending, etc. Okay, so it was the I-129. It wasn't the I-539 that was initially filed for the applicant. Okay, so that changes things because now it's not the I-539 that was initially filed. It was the extension based on I-129 that happened. So you received the I-797, the personation has been filed for an extension and approval notice has received. Okay, so it was already approved by USCIS. In that case, I would still recommend doing the cover letter for sure. You would have to explain the situation for sure. And then selecting no. Selecting no because it's not related to an existing or previous I-539. It is related to I-129. And on the cover letter, just like I explained in the previous response, instead of saying it was I-539 previous, you say it was a previous I-129. Make sure to provide the receipt number, making sure that they can pull it up immediately, and that should do it. So it's pretty much the same thing with the cover letter, but in this selection, yes, I would definitely select no, not yes. Okay, moving further to the Lennon 1996. Good day, thanks for the great job you've been doing. You're very welcome. If my case is at the NVC and I have my B1 visa and am in the US, can I do an adjustment of status? F1, CA, PD, so priority date 2018. Okay, great question. So the way this works is you can absolutely, yes. If you are here in the United States and your priority date becomes current and your immigrant visa becomes available, what you can do is you can choose to have your immigrant visa, instead of getting the immigrant visa, you can do the adjustment on status and just get your permanent residence because you are already here and you don't need to bother with the immigrant visa because you are already in the United States of America. So as long as your priority date is current, you can definitely do it. But is it though? F1, so I don't know what CA is, maybe all chargeability. I'm assuming it's all chargeability. Priority date is 2018. So let's look at F1. So you roughly have another 4 years before your priority date becomes current. So if you are in the United States in the next 4 years, then yes, you can absolutely do it. But until your priority date is current, so basically what I'm trying to say is, even if you're here in the United States, unless your priority date is current, you really cannot do the adjustment of status. You have to be current on your priority date in order to file for the adjustment of status. Current on your priority date and within United States in order to do that. Okay, so let me put this and we're gonna move on to the next question from Otical. Otical says, hello bro, how are you Otical? Thank you for another comment, appreciate it. I did file for my family of 4 I-864W for my 2 minor kids and I-864 for my wife and my oldest daughter. NVC has approved that of my 2 minor kids as documentarily qualified. Excellent, congratulations Oracle. Please, do you have an idea as to when to expect that of my wife and oldest daughter? By the way, it took just 2 weeks for NVC to documentarily qualify my minor kids. Thanks again, Oracle, that's fantastic news. Congratulations, that's a huge milestone. You see, you did everything yourself and you did it great. Fantastic. I'm really, really happy for you. So here's the thing. For your minor kids, I mean, it's super quick. So that's great. Typically, whenever it comes for NVC to, once you fill out everything, you pay all the fees, everything is submitted on your end. Most of the times it takes about 3 months for the NVC to review everything and then either documentarily qualify you or say, no, sorry, something is missing, we need this, we need whatever. So for your minor kids, it was super quick, but I'm thinking within, 3 months tops, you should hear back for your oldest daughter and for your wife as well. So give it a little bit more time, but you're doing good. You're almost there, man. I'm really happy. That's awesome. Okay, moving further to Sassy Diva 8092. Good day. Is my priority date is current? So F11, which is subcategory F of F1, and F1, sons and daughters of US citizens over 21. Priority date February 11, 2014. Documentarily qualified August 31, 2022 from Jamaica, so Old Churchability area. Let's take a look. I think it is somewhere in 2014. It is December 2014 actually. So for F1 it's December 2014 and Sassy Diva is in February 2014. Yes, absolutely. Sassy Diva, your priority date is definitely current. It's definitely current, but let me check something because I want to take a look at these dates right here. So 17. You know what I want to ask Sassy Diva, because according to the visa bulletin, your NVC portal should have been opening up somewhere around September 20. Well, let me think. So somewhere around September 2017, 2018 max, I'm thinking. But you were only documentarily qualified less than a year ago in 2022 August, almost September. And I want to ask you, Sassy Diva, did you have any kind of delays in maybe with USCIS? Maybe you filed a petition, maybe there weren't, a complete set of documents, and they requested something again, and there was a little bit of back and forth with the applications, with documents, or maybe you had something back and forth with, with becoming documentarily qualified, with the NVC portal. You submitted all the documents, you submitted all the fees, they took their time to review it, and then they came back and said, oh no, we need something else, we need this, we need that, and then you submit it again, some back and forth. So the reason why I'm asking is because yes, you are absolutely, definitely, 100%, it should already be current. It's definitely current because as of right now, December 2014, people with priority date in December 2014, almost already getting in 2015, are getting their immigrant visas. And your priority date is all the way back in February 2014. So you should have had your immigrant visa technically, judging by the graph A on the visa bulletin, like 10 months ago. But I'm thinking that there was some back and forth because you were only documentarily qualified in August 2022. And with your priority date, I would expect you to be documentarily qualified sometime in maybe 2021, maybe even earlier, possibly even earlier in 2020. So please let me know, and I would recommend reaching out to the NVC, submitting a public inquiry form, and asking them, hey guys, when my immigrant visa is going to be available. But I'm thinking there was some delay, some back and forth, that's why it caused a little bit of a delay. But yes, it's definitely current, and I'm gonna show you how to do the public inquiry form. And if you already know, everybody else, if it's going to be helpful, so you would do it through this website right here. It's the travel.state.gov, which is the official government website for the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Consular Affairs. This is their visa bulletin section, and you can find this link in the description below for July 2023 visa bulletin. So from this page right here, we're going to click on Contact Us right here at the very top, little navigation menu. I'm going to open it in new tab. I'm gonna wait till it loads. Sometimes it takes a while. There you go. And then you're gonna click on US Visas Contacts. We're gonna click on this. And then you'll scroll down a little bit. And at the very top row of this table, you will see Email Public Inquiry Form. So we're gonna click on this. And then you will see Online Immigrant Visa Inquiries Only Public Inquiry Form. We're gonna click on this link right here. And you will have your public inquiry form. So right here, you will put your NVC case number. Principal applicant's full name is going to be beneficiary's full name, beneficiary's date of birth, petitioner's full name, who you are, beneficiary or petitioner, email address, and then in an inquiry, just write it in the format of regular cover letter, introducing yourself, saying, hey, my name is this and this. this is my case number, my date of birth, whatever, provide your identifying information, and then say that according to July 2023 visa bulletin, my immigrant visa, my priority date is already current, and the immigrant visa should already be available, but as of 9 months already, it should be. Oh, actually 10 months, because February is the second month, December is 12 months, so 10 months already as the immigrant visa should be available. But tell them that you still have not heard from the US Embassy, you still haven't had your interview scheduled, so you ask for a follow-up, basically that you're asking for a follow-up. And then, you know, they're pretty quick to respond to this, and then please come back and let me know what they responded, and we will go from there. And the reason, I mean, a lot of times, most of the times, if I'm completely honest, most of the times the responses that you get from NVC are very, very boilerplate. But the thing is, you do need to get those responses. You do need to submit those inquiries before you can actually, you know, start looking for help outside of these government agencies. You have to reach out to them directly first, and you need to document that. So once you do that, you do have the, you know, electronic, because you're going to receive the confirmation, an email, you're going to receive the response, you're going to have the electronic, in the electronic form, documentation showing that you did try to resolve this on your own, and then you were not able to. If you're not able to, most likely they will respond, you know, with something boilerplate, and then you will be able with that evidence to reach out to, you know, elected officials and attorney if necessary. Okay, moving further to Vanji Muleta says, thank you, sir, for your answer. How about the SSS pension of my father? Vanji, so whenever it comes to SSS, I'm really not very familiar with that, you know, with the pension stuff. But what I would recommend is ssa.gov. This is the official government website for Social Security Administration. Personally, I'm not familiar with this stuff very much. The only thing that I'm familiar with from this is just applying basically for the Social Security number, Social Security card. That's the only thing that I was dealing with them, and also replacing that card because they made a mistake on my card. But this is the website where you will be able to find those answers. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna post this, and I'll put the link for the website so that you can do your research here on this website yourself. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question from Masood Khan 3287. Hello, brother. Appreciate your hard work. Masood, appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much. My question is, my case is IR5, and with grace of Allah, documentarily qualified is 2022. Congratulations. That's great news. And it has been approved 9 months. Awesome. Still waiting for interview. Call in Pakistan, sir. At this stage, can I go USA and apply for I-485? I have valid visit visa. Can I do this? Is it useful? Need your advice. Thanks and regards. Masood, thank you again for kind words, and that's a great question. So absolutely, you can definitely do that because you're already documentarily qualified, so everything is good. The only thing you need is really, you know, getting your permanent residence. That's really it. And that's what the immigrant visa really is. It's a temporary permanent resident card, because once you enter with that immigrant visa, that I-551 stamp that you get in your passport in the US Embassy, once you enter with this stamp into the United States, it converts into the temporary permanent resident card, and then you receive the actual permanent resident card in the mail. So you can definitely do that. Here's the thing though, you are so close already to your interview being scheduled. It literally should be somewhere around the corner, because you've been 9 months already since documentarily qualified. You are IR5, which is immediate relative category. So your immigrant visa is already available. It's already waiting. And most likely the interview has already been scheduled. You're just not getting the notice because by law, US Embassy, they have to wait up until 30 days before the actual interview date. So for example, Masood, if your interview was scheduled for September 1st, they cannot by law send you the notice before August 1st, because they have to give you 30 days for the medical examination, and the medical examination has to be within 30 days. It's a little bit silly, and there is actually a conversation within Department of State, Homeland Security to change this, and make it more time instead of 30 days. I think they want to increase it to like 120 days or 180 days, like 6 months. I think, I don't remember exactly, something along those lines, but at the moment it is 30 days. So the reason why I'm saying this is because honestly, instead of coming here, I mean, you can come here. I'm not saying don't come here. What I'm saying is, instead of coming here and switching from US Embassy in Pakistan, where it most likely is already scheduled, switching it to here, and now waiting for a new date to get here for your adjustment of status for your interview in the field office here in the United States. Instead of doing this, you might as well just wait and get that immigrant visa over there in Pakistan, where it is most likely already scheduled. So if you want to come here, absolutely come here and, you know, hang out here with your family. Once you get the date of the interview, I would just travel back there, go through that interview, get your immigrant visa, and then come in here back already, instead of your visitor visa, already with your immigrant visa, and then already enter as basically a permanent resident. And the only reason why I recommend this is because if you start switching from Pakistan to United States, that's always going to create additional administrative processing, because they have to transfer it from there to here. And most likely, it's not guaranteed, it's not 100%, but most likely it will increase the total time of processing, because like I said, all this administrative tasks that they have to do in order to transfer the case from Pakistan to here. Rather just wait, because you're literally somewhere around the corner. It's, you know, anytime now. I know it's really hard to get, when you get so close, it gets harder and harder to wait, but you're literally almost there. So personally, I would recommend you do that. But again, you can, absolutely, you can come here and you can switch instead of over there, have it processed over here, but most likely it will increase a little bit of time to wait up until when they schedule that actual interview here in the field office. But thank you very much, Masood. That's an excellent question. And thank you everyone who was asking questions today. Always appreciate your questions. If you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Just make sure don't ask underneath my question, not my question, but my comment. Don't ask in your comment. You know, don't respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me those notifications. Please submit it as a separate comment, and it will show up here on my wall. So thank you everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.